Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video, and I am working on a special insert for my album that is combination New York and Portland, Maine. I'm into the Maine section kind of. This is the train we took. We actually took the Acela from New York City to Boston, and then we had to switch trains in Boston, and then we got on the Downeaster. So this is the schedule for that. I want to include that in there since I've done the train a lot, but my friend Robin has never done it sort of for a longer period like this. This was the longest train trip she had, was on this visit with me, and she really wanted to document that. And I thought, you know, what a great idea. I'm going to, oh, look at this. I had stuck that in there. Forgot about it. Awesome. Since she had the idea of using this and document it, I thought, you know what? I'm on the train all the time, but it was a new one for me. I think that's fun. I'll document it too. So I got one, and my plan is to put an attacher on, have it go in the album that way, but on the back, I don't need any of this information. So what I would like to do is put this photo on there. Clearly, I had thought ahead about using this, so I can use that too, which is great. And really what I need to do is then I need to figure out how to cover up the rest of this. And then I wanted to see if I could use any more of these, my DIY travel embellishments. I know I don't have one that is specific to a train. Now I do have some stickers somewhere that have trains on them, but I would love to be able to use something that I already have rather than totally create something new. But we'll see. If there's nothing in there, then that's fine. I'm not opposed to going into my other stuff and getting train sticker, or I have train stamps I could stamp if I wanted to. But I'm really trying to use these up because I made these a while ago, and look how many I still have left. So I need to be using them more. So that's what I'm starting with. I just wanted to give you an idea. But looking at this, so I've got a darker blue and a lighter blue. I've got this kind of yellowy gold, which I have some of that in the trees too. But I could potentially use a brown maybe. Burnt orange or brown. Those are very similar, especially because I have the rail here, or this railing, I should say, here. I probably still could do a shade of blue that's in between these if I wanted to. Maybe even a green of sorts. We'll see. A lot of it has to do with what is in my scraps, because for this size, I'm not cutting into a new piece of paper. For that, I refuse. I've grabbed out some papers here, and I want to just give them a whirl. Let's move that so I don't lose that. Okay, I'm actually going to raise my camera a little bit. There we go. A little bit more room. So I have this orange, which that's how those would look together. It's not bad. It definitely makes this pop a little bit more to have that, but I'm not sure I'm crazy about the grid pattern, but I have it. It's an option. I have this one, which I really like this. This is more of that brown / burnt orange I was thinking of. And again, it makes this pop, and it's the closest, I think, to that color, but yet it's still almost kind of a neutral. So whatever I stack on it, you know, hopefully it would still look okay. Let me grab this. Like I could do that and it looks fine. Then I have this one, which I kind of like how bright this green is. It does have a leaf pattern in it, but that works because of the tree I have. It's not quite edge to edge on this is the only problem, but it's enough if that white showed around it that I wouldn't care. I would just cut the bottom to make sure the same amount shows. I'd be fine with that. But here's how that would look. I mean, I think that looks good. Oops. With the green. I mean, it certainly makes it brighter. This is way more muted than this. And then it brings out the green hues that are in the back here. So I kind of like that. These two are my favorites. I will say these two. This is the blue. This is the other side, which is more solid, which I don't mind, but it's the pattern that I'm kind of like, I'd have to go this way. I don't like that sideways. Look at the pattern. To me, that's kind of weird. This way doesn't totally fit. I could do it similar to the other one where it would show some white. I would barely be able to make it work, but it would show some white, and that's fine. But I feel like it's too much here. I thought it was enough of a difference, but not really. I mean, I feel like it's a little too close, so probably not this one. Let's try this side. Is this just like way too busy with the plaid? Yeah, you know what? I don't like the plaid at all. So let's just say we're not going to use that one. So really, it's one of these two. I just need to decide, like, what color do I want? What am I going for here? Do I want this very muted fall palette? Or do I want still fall, but just brighter with that one? So I decided to go into my DIY embellishments, thinking that, oh, maybe I'll find something there that will help me pick this color. And I may have something. I have this, which I was saving thinking, oh, maybe I'll use that for more international travel. Right now, at the time that I'm doing this, I don't have any international travel planned. So I'm thinking, could I use it? Then I would get that bright green in there that I wanted. Could I cut this down a little bit maybe and overlap this, do something with it? And then I could even take this and do something like that. The only problem is this tag is quite big. There's really no way for me to alter it unless I cut the top off, which I mean, I could do, but I already have an enamel dot on there. I don't really want to waste that if I don't have to. So what I'm thinking is I might cut this down and then do this and do it like at a slightly jaunty angle, because straight up and down looks kind of weird. But maybe if this were cut off a bit and this was down here, I could do something like that, maybe just to liven up the back of it. I'm gonna mess around with it. Okay, I've done some things. I have cut down this paper to fit on the back with a nice white border around it, and I really like that. I think that was a smart thing to do. Then I've cut down the photo both ways so that it will fit right in here also with a little bit of a border, so you'll see some brown behind it. But now it's also smaller, so I have more room to work with. So I could do something like this, which I like. And then it also leaves me the option where I could stamp here, find another little sticker, something. I really like the idea of that. Now, if I didn't want to do anything else, I could also just take like my white ink and do some splattering here to fill in that space, and I think that would be totally fine. But I do think I'm going to do something like this. So the first thing is, where's my adhesive? Here we go. To add this to the DIY embellishment that I already had. I hope this sticks. You know, do I want to shorten it a little bit, or do I not care that it kind of goes end to end and hangs over a little bit? Let's go a little bit more. Whoop. Does that make it kind of even? Let's see. Yeah, you know what? I actually don't mind that it hangs over just a tiny bit both ways. So I kind of like that. All right. So I don't want to glue these down or adhere these till I know for sure. Am I just going to do ink? Am I going to put something there? I need to think about that for just a little bit. I've decided I'm going to try to do the white splattering. And this paper's kind of dark. It should show up well. It does on most papers, unless they're super light. And I'm just removing everything else. I'll do this first, then I can add that later. It makes me very nervous to put all the stuff on it, sitting right here, and then accidentally get some of this on there. But just so you know, this is the Dinah, I think it's Dina Wakley, you say it, Media Gloss Spray in white. So this has no shimmer in it, so I don't have to worry about any of that. It's simply just white ink there. I was really going for this upper left corner, so that's great, but if some of this other happens to show through, that's fine. But I think that's enough. So I will let that dry for a little bit, and then I will start layering my other pieces. So while that's drying, I have it sitting right there, I just wanted to show something quickly, and it's about the attachers that I use. And these come from Citrus Twist. They come in two sizes. This is one of them. This is the shorter. So you can see it has 3 holes in there. And it's great normally for something that's this size where I don't need a full 6x8. However, when you look at that, you also have to look at the album you're using, because this particular album that I have is only 2 rings. So I'm going to show you this really quickly. Let me move this out of the way. So this is the album I'm using. That's not going to fit. So I have to use a full-size one for this, or it's going to be extremely difficult, or I would have to use the smaller one and like make this flush to the bottom of the album, which I don't want. I want it centered. So I will pull out my full length attacher pieces and just make sure that it's still going to work and line up with some holes that I can actually use. So here's the longer attacher, and you can see if I attach it like this, look at where those holes are compared to where these are. So that shows you right there, that's why I need this longer one. So I'm going to attach one of those to the back because I still want to be able to fully open the schedule. So I will put it along the back edge here, and then when this is dry, I can put everything together and make the back section. So I have the attacher here. It's kind of hard to see, but there it is. I've taken the backing off already, so this is sticky. I have to be very careful. So I want that to sit like this in the album, so I just have to line this up as best I can. I do want it to be centered, so as long as I can get as close to centered as possible, it should be fine. So I tend to just eyeball it, but there's one end. There's the other end. I didn't get it perfectly straight, as you can see, but it's close enough. And actually, I could try to adjust it even if it rips the back a little bit, because you're not going to see the back. Oh, it's really stuck on there. You know what? Nope, I'm not going to risk it. It's going to stay where it is. It's only a hair off, and that's fine. But just kind of be aware that these are very sticky. So once you remove that adhesive, you have to be very careful with how you place this down on it, because you might not be able to remove it. I'm still waiting for this to dry, but at least now I have the attacher part done. I had to go over this again because it seemed like as it dried, it really soaked into this paper, and it is a thicker cardstock. It also has a slight texture to it, and so I feel like the ink just really soaked in. So I've done a pass again on top of what I already had. I just touched the applicator to it in the hopes that maybe it stays more of this raised white look. So now I again have to wait for it to dry, but at least I know how it's going to look once I get it all put together. All right, here it is all put together with the adjustments made on the splattering of the ink. And I think this one is good to go. So here's another one done for Portland. Thanks for watching.